Real Talk Live. I'm Judy Hayes with Design Realty Group.
And I'm Darla Nunley with Design Realty Group.
Today we're going to talk about everything that's going on with the housing market in Splendora, Texas. You are looking at two Wildcat alumni. We know
Right.
everything there is to know about Splendora. And wow, Darla, the growth since we were kids. There was no Sonic in Splendora.
Yeah.
When we grew up, we had to go to Cleveland to go to Sonic.
I think the sign on 2090 says the population is still 3,000.
I know, right? I was going to go ahead
I'm
and
not
write
even
stuff.
sure that's the high school anymore.
Right. We were 3A high school. It's now, is it 5 or 6?
I think it's a 4A, maybe a 5A.
It's not
sure.
3. So we were in 3A sports. We both played sports as athletes through high school, and we still have deep roots there. We know tons of people at the school district, tons of people that still live there, and our hearts are still there. So, you know, of course, we sell houses there. And pulling up statistics in the last day or so, I'm going to say this. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait till you see these stats, and I think you'll agree, Donna. A lot of people that have been in Splendora forever aren't exactly thrilled about this growth.
It's hard. It's hard when you see your hometown changing, whether you like the change or not.
Right.
It is difficult to watch your hometown change. And I think growth for anybody is good. It's good for the people that have businesses in town. It's good for people when they watch their property values increase. But change is never fun.
Yeah, and a lot, unfortunately, the older people that have been there forever, even in Porter, New Caney, we've all know this whole area, the growth is substantial in Northeast Houston and East Montgomery County, where we're talking about. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the hot spots of Splendora. So obviously it's mostly rural. It's a lot of rural. It's a lot of non-restricted areas. So that's just a general statement. But we're going to talk about a couple of neighborhoods. So North Crest Ranch, we're going to go there first. So that's our, quote, highest end neighborhood. That's going to be in Splendora ISD. It is custom homes on acreage. The acreage is generally 2 to 10 acres in there. And you're going to be, if you find something in the 500s, that's good. You're probably 6, 7, 800,000 in there. So here's some stats. If Darla, you want to go over the stats, and I pulled these just this morning on what's going on in North Crest Ranch.
Okay, so currently there are 6 active listings. There's nothing pending. There have been 3 sold so far in 2024. And there's been 15 sold in there in 2023. Now, North Crest Ranch is off of 59 up 242. 242 is what's joining 45 and 59 on the more south end of Montgomery County.
And I will say the biggest wow, when I pulled that, I was like 15 homes sold in 20. That's only 1 a month. That's very surprising to me. But remember, this is a very high-end price point for Splendora ISD.
Do we know how many homes are total in there at all?
Right. How many homes are in there? Total. About 2,000.
Okay, so there's about 2,000 homes in that neighborhood. It's a pretty big span across 242. It does sit on both sides of 242. So,
and again, people out there are looking for those outdoor kitchens. They're looking for pools. They're looking for workshops. Those are the houses that they can get up to $800,000-$900,000, but they're very desirable. They go quickly. But I was surprised only 15. The second neighborhood that really has custom homes on acreage is Rio Vista. Now the difference is all of those lots in there are pretty much 1 acre lots. So Darla, go over the stats on those. So pay attention to the difference. So North Crest Ranch is going to be your highest value, the most expensive properties in our area, and Rio Vista.
So North Crest Ranch being off of 59, and Rio Vista is more centrally located within Splendora. So it's off of 2090 East and Tram Road. So you can get there through Roman Forest, or you can get there through main Splendora. So Rio Vista has 16 active listings. There are currently 4 pending listings. There were 7 sold so far in 2024 and 36 sold in 2023. Do we know how many homes are in there?
I don't.
Okay.
So those lots, I think I've had customers talk about the long and skinny 1 acre tracts. I will say it's the same developer that is Riverwalk in Porter is who went in there. So they got long skinny lots. So even though it's an acre, you're still kind of on top of your neighbor like that. And some people don't like it. But obviously it's very desirable. So this price point is going to be a little lower. You're going to be up to 500,000-600,000 average in Rio Vista, which I know that's still a lot. But you have to remember when you add that little bit of land, that price is a whole lot higher.
Right. And I think what happens is it helps people. How do comps help people that are outside of these 2 areas? These 2 areas are providing comps for homes that are outside of those areas that are still comparable with land, age, size of home, and amenities on the property. Pool, workshops, outbuildings, acreage. So if you live in one part of Splendora and you're not part of Northcrest Ranch, but you have a lot of those same similarities, we're going to be able to comp off of that
So that's
and
very
be able
helpful
to
to
get
you.
you that value.
And both of these neighborhoods, positive about them is they do have low tax rates because they are on septic systems. They both have water systems for their own community. So it's quote public water, but it's not a mud. So your taxes are about 2% in both of those neighborhoods. So your value's higher, your taxes are lower. So if I have a choice, do I want to pay a higher mud tax to the government or higher land? I mean, my choice is I want to pay the land. It's not everybody's choices, but don't think, that price is still up there. Okay. And they're like, oh, my taxes are so high because you're valued at $700,000 or $800,000 versus maybe another house that's $300,000 or $400,000. You've got the same tax rate, okay? Because the value is more.
Right. And one thing Judy doesn't have on here, and I'll talk about a little bit, there's another neighborhood in Splendora that has half-acre lots. It's off of Fostoria, and it's Northwoods, which
Very
is
desirable.
Right now, I know there are one pending and one new construction that's about to go up in there, and we'll talk about the neighborhood that's across the street.
Sorry, I didn't push my D&D. I swear to God, I
So
did.
if you're still looking in that price point, because the average price in that neighborhood has gone up, obviously,
Yes.
because of the neighborhood across the street, but it's more desirable because it has the bigger lots, but it's a really neat, small community. It has an HOA, but it's a very small
It's kind of the medium. So we talked about high end. That's a medium. It's very, very desirable.
Right,
It's
and
cute.
it is custom built homes, but you've got a little bit more acreage, but it's not quite the price point that you're going to see. And I do know that there's another one coming up in there that's got a pool and a workshop, and it's on almost an entire acre.
She's squirreling.
But anyway.
New construction. This is where my wow came in. Right now, there's 155 active new construction homes in our little bitty hometown of Splendora, Texas. That's insane.
At one point, I don't even know that we had 155 homes in Splendora.
Right?
When we were
the
there.
new construction is crazy. So the main builders in Splendora right now are going to be D.R. Horton, Lennar, and Kalina Homes. Mostly Lennar and D.R. Horton. So we'll also talk about, remember last week we talked about D.R. Horton in the month of March is offering up to $50,000 incentives in every neighborhood. The older the home is, the inventory home on the ground, the better incentives you're going to get. So if you're looking for new construction, all of these neighborhoods have excellent incentives right now. D.R. Horton has super excellent, but they're very good.
Well, even if you're looking at doing an investment property.
Oh, yeah.
If you're looking at doing that, and the interest rates are high, but
So one thing I didn't put on here because I couldn't remember, what is that new construction neighborhood, the LGI neighborhood off of Morgan Cemetery?
It's Piney Woods.
Piney Woods. That investors came in there like crazy when they built that. And that's
Pinewood Trails.
Okay, it is on there. I couldn't remember. Investors came in there buying by the blocks because there was literally no rentals in Splendora, Texas, and so they allowed that in that neighborhood. Which, hey, we needed that. We needed that bad. So Presswoods, those homes start at $223,000. They are located on 2090 West, directly across from the high school. The Presswood homes are D.R. Horton, and they are those cottage style, cute as a button little homes. Now your lots are very small. The first two neighborhoods we talked about are three or big neighborhoods. These are going to be your smaller neighborhoods with mud districts. So you're trading that lot size.
Yeah, but think about it. If you're living in an apartment.
Oh, this is way better.
If you're living in an apartment and you're wanting your own space, but you can't afford a $300,000 home, but you want your own walls. You want your own yard. You want to be able to control where you park, what you do, things like that. This is the perfect opportunity to do that. You don't have large lots on this. Yes, you're going to be next to your neighbors, but you know what? You don't share walls with them.
Yep.
You don't share the noise with them. You don't share the pests with them.
And you're not paying 100% interest.
And you're
not throwing your money away.
Correct. So
And they have cool incentives. Townsend Reserve is just down from Presswoods off of 2090. This is Lennar neighborhood. Get this, I almost fainted. I didn't think $190,000 new construction existed anymore. There were two, but it's there. I put it on my notes. They're about 1,400 square feet, so $190,000.
That's not bad for 1,400 square feet.
Not bad.
That's pretty
Then
good.
Pinewood Trails. Darla's going to talk about that a little bit more because she's more familiar with them.
Yep. So Pinewood Trails just opened up another set of sections in there because they had closed out probably before the fourth quarter of last year and didn't have anything else coming up until after the first of the year. So they're rolling these things out. So if you bought in Pinewood Trails when they first put these up, your home has already gained equity because the new ones that are going up are starting at $237, where I know before I helped people buy those at like $175.
Nice.
So
nice.
you
We've
already
talked about new construction equity.
Yeah.
What's the positive new construction? It has the warranty. Everything's new. The utilities are phenomenal, and you're going to get equity as soon as you close on that. Next neighborhood, Harrington Trail. So that's off the 242 past our North Crest Ranch neighborhood. It's going to be on the right-hand side. So Harrington Trails is huge. It has its own elementary in there. D.R. Horton is in there. There's a couple of other builders in there, and their pricing starts at $240. So the key to, so you've got 242 and 2090. They're parallel to one another. Harrington Trails is here. Presswoods and Townsend Lake is here. They're going to connect those. It's coming. They're building towards one another. And I think within the next year, definitely 2, they're going to have that. So you have obviously the high school, the middle school, and an elementary right on 2090. Harrington Trails already has a elementary, and I think they're getting a junior high.
Yes, they
Yes,
are.
okay, they're getting a junior high. So
And
that's all gonna, you can be able to cut through there to get to 242, which is gonna
And
be
I know
really
that
good.
the Townsend Preserve is also going to have some commercial in front of it.
Good,
Not really
yeah.
sure what's coming in there yet, but we do know the commercial is coming in there.
Well, the first thing that I think they need is like a donut shop, a sandwich shop, a nail spot, those basic kind of things like that. I don't
we don't
think you're
have
gonna
enough of
see.
that.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, right there coming out of those neighborhoods. I mean,
Oh my gosh, you
something-
know what's not on that side of 59? I mean, what's not on that side of 2090?
What?
A gas station.
Right, gas
Like,
and
down
food.
that direction, there's no gas and food.
And
yet.
food,
So,
there's no food that's gonna come.
We're pretty sure it's coming.
Well, Whataburger, Whataburger and Popeyes are coming. I got confirmation from said they are coming past Archie's. Right, of course they want 59 access, but I'm like, something's got to come on 2090. It's got to be coming.
It's coming.
It's McDonald's, something. Next is Splendora Fields. That's going to be on your east side of 2090, and prices start at $252 in there. They don't have the selection. Those are much smaller neighborhoods than all the other ones that we have previously discussed in there, but that's going to be on your east side.
I think they have some larger lots in there.
Do they?
But it's that this doesn't. That's mixed in with an area over there. It's by the softball fields,
Yeah.
and that's mixed in with an area of people that bought like 2 acres over there, and then they came in and developed it, and they've got some of the smaller
ones
lots in there too.
So right now, this morning, fresh off the press, there are 108 pending new construction homes in Splendora, Texas. Holy cow. That's a lot.
So I think the more important thing to understand about this is in all of 2023, 267 total sold. We have almost half of that pending right now.
No, these are sold. Yeah, pending, yes.
Pending.
But 133 new construction has
have already
sold since
sold.
January 1st.
So we have
today.
133 sold and we have 108 pending. We had 267 sold in all of 2023.
So these builders are putting
And
some homes
we're
up
already at 238 and we're only
mid-March.
mid-March.
So where do we need to direct our marketing, darling?
So-
You're going to see some Facebook ads for
Right.
new construction in Splendora because we want to sell it.
Well, and let's spend like just a few minutes and let's talk about why you need new home construction representation. There's a big deal about I don't need a realtor to buy a new home. Builders will tell you, you don't need a realtor to buy a new home. You may not need a realtor to go in to look at the home, to look at the contract, to get the contract and to sign the contract. You may not need a realtor. The salesperson can handle all that stuff for you. This is what a realtor does for you. All those contracts are proprietary forms. They're not the truck forms that we use for resale. They are each individual builder wrote it, had an attorney write the contract up. That contract is written specifically for the builder. So in the event the market goes crazy, things go hairy, it doesn't benefit you, it benefits them.
There's no protection.
There's no protection for you at all. Not that we can change those things, but we want to make sure what you're signing, you completely understand what you're doing. We're able to negotiate maybe a lesser earnest money down payment. We're able to negotiate maybe a lesser price depending on what's going on in the neighborhood. We're able to negotiate additional things in the home. A lot of them come with blinds and, washer, dryer, refrigerator packages. Sometimes we can get even more for that for you. But if you don't ask, if you don't have a realtor that knows those things, because we have the experience with that. And the last thing is when you start getting closer to the closing table for purchasing that home, the closing disclosure that you get, it seems to be very straightforward, but you may get slapped in the face with something called unimproved versus improved property taxes.
They don't explain that.
They
very
don't
well.
explain that to you, and I'm seeing people, and I actually had it happen to 2 clients of mine who I did explain to that during COVID that this was what was going to happen, but they must have forgotten, even though I told them several times, and the lender told them. When you close on that home, the property taxes are done at closing on unimproved property because the builder doesn't want to pay the taxes on it. Well, then when it appraises, they're going to put it with the improvement on it. I am seeing people complain about $700, $800, $1,200, $100 a month increases in their mortgage payment. And if you don't know that's coming, you don't know how to prepare.
So if that mortgage payment seems really cheap and good, it's not.
It's
You
not.
know, there's
You need to have
make sure
another
you
set of
understand that.
eyes looking at it that's looking out for your interest and not the builder, not anybody else's. And believe me, we want to make sure that you guys
Are informed and understand.
you understand. I mean, yes, can you do all these things on your own? Absolutely. But you know what happens when the rubber hits the road and things go wrong? That's when you're really going to wish I had somebody looking at it.
Because if there's a problem and you're just talking to the sales rep, they still represent the seller, and I'm not, there's going to be some things they don't disclose or tell you because they work for the seller.
Right. And I bet you nobody tells you can get a third-party inspection on your new home either. Oh, you don't need it. We're doing 10-point inspections throughout the whole process. Well, guess what I'm doing today? When I leave here, I'm going over to a community where I'm closing on a house this afternoon. We got a third-party inspection. He had 3 inspections with the builder prior to that. The inspection report came back with 2 pages of things that needed to be fixed that were fairly significant that the inspector didn't point out. So we sent that inspection report over. We got that taken care of. We're going to do the final walk today, and then we're going to go to closing. And guess what happened? He has the same thing. The property tax is unimproved, and he's going to have to put money aside for when the escrow comes calling for the improved property taxes.
Well, 2 reasons you really do need us is, number one, if you were in a lease, you're in an apartment or wherever you are, and these builders are offering these crazy incentives and you are in a position to buy, let's not wait, okay? Incentives change constantly, and when the rates start going down in June and July, guess what they're going to do with these incentives? Throw them away. You're not going to have to wait. So don't wait. Use what the money that they're giving you now. Incentives are being paid for by the builder or the builder's lender. You've got to pretty much use their lender to get money from them. Okay. So if you're in a lease, we can buy you out of the lease. When I say we, that means us. It's going to come out of our commission, but we get you out of that into a new home. The second thing is, if you need to sell your house, we can assist with that, because most of these, if they are inventory homes on the ground, which the majority of these in Splendora are, they don't do contingencies. They just don't. These homes are ready to go. They're looking for you to sell. So if we need to get your home on the market and get it done, under contract quickly, they're patient with us. They will give us some time, but you don't build these builders right here, in these new communities. You're not getting to pick everything, go to the design center. These are pretty much inventory homes that are already built. So if you need to sell your house quickly, you need a real estate agent to guide you with that so that you have that home. They're only going to hold it for so many days. It's probably 60 max. So think about it. You need to get your home ready. You need to get it on the market. You need to get it sold, or they will sell that home out underneath you, and that is in your contract.
Absolutely.
And you will lose your earnest money if you do not do it timely. Okay,
there are things that you need to know that they're not. The salesperson's not going to explain that to you. And if you ask the question, they'll give you the answer.
Right,
but you don't know the questions to ask. Always.
Excellent. They're not going to point it out.
They're not going to point it out.
So for all things real estate in Splendora, Texas, Darla and I would love to be your real estate agent. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message us here on Real Talk on Facebook or anything else. And we look forward to working with you guys. Like I said, watch out for our Facebook ads. They're going to be geared towards new construction in Splendora based on this criteria of everything we just saw today.
There's a lot. There's a lot
going
going on.
Our
poor schools.
Right. All right. You guys have a great day.
Have a great week.